Okay, well, welcome everybody, good evening, and thank you for joining us here at Malcolm Smith's Motorsports. My name is Phil Reed Jr. I'm the Marketing Director at Ducati North America. Question is, why are we here tonight? Well, you lucky people are here, very few to see us make an announcement on something we're going to be doing very, very soon. The fact that we're here at Malcolm Smith Motorsports, and you've probably seen some off-road tyres poking through the bottom, it's going to involve some off-road. So really for us, for Ducati, is we're predominantly known for what we do in the sports bike market, MotoGP, World Superbike, but you would have seen we're now expanding into new territories, and of course, off-road for us offers some great potential, and you would have seen what we're doing not just in the world of motocross, but also what we've done in the world of off-road adventure. In particular, 2 years ago we launched the Desert X, which was a fantastic model for us. And then last year we announced another new model we called the Desert X Rally, which our intention for this model was really to make it capable for off-road racing. And that's what we've done. And with Ducati, what we do is we don't just build a bike and talk about it, we want to go and race it. So, first, before I tell you what I'm going to do, I want to introduce the people I have with us. So, I have with us, of course, excuse me, Alexander Smith, and I have, if you recognise, Steve Camrad. So, the reason that we're here is that this weekend we are going to start moving down to Mexico to compete in the NORRA Mexican 1000 Rally. And that's a 6-day rally, roadbook rally, and we're entered into the Pro Enduro class on two very special bikes that we built especially for this. We will also be patient, we will unveil it. Now, of course, we are going to have Alexander is one of our riders, and so for those of you that don't know, I think your first experience racing with Ducati went back to what, 2008?
Yeah, I think so. Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak. So that was on the Hypermotard 1100 when it was tarmac, and so, and then you did another 2 Pikes Peak, what, 2000?
Multistrada V2,
2010 and 11. So 3 Pikes Peaks. And then Alexander joined us in 2020, just before the pandemic closed us all down. We raced in the mid 400 on the Scrambler Desert sleds as well. So we have some great history as well as this fantastic leadership. And of course, as Ducati moves into off-road, having someone with the experience of Alexander has been really critical for us to help shape what we're going to be doing in the future as well. So I also then want to introduce our second rider for this, and this is Steve Camrad. I don't know if anybody recognises Steve. You may know him from internet fame, from Instagram. You on TikTok now as well?
No, just looking at YouTube.
Steve is also a long-term off-road competitor. I mean, since I've been in this country, I think 12 years, I've watched him do some ridiculous rallies and feats of endurance and on motorcycles that shouldn't be ridden off-road. And also he contributes a lot as a contributor to a lot of the adventure publications as well. And we've had the pleasure of hosting him on a number of our press launches over many years. So I think what we should probably do now is, I might ask sort of Alexander for a moment. When we approached you with this idea, obviously you've had some great experience of this race. Without revealing our bikes just yet, what's your feelings about this project?
Well, I think you had it wrong. I think I approached you guys with this idea.
Oh, that's right. You wanted us to pay.
That's right. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. That's the best kind of racing. When I saw that Ducati was coming out with this bike, I approached Jay about it, and said, hey, this is the perfect race, this is the perfect bike, and go down there and tell a really cool story. He said, yeah, okay. And crickets for 6 months or something like that. About 2 months ago, they called and said, yeah, we're doing it. It was 2 months away, so we better get busy. And here we are.
So to caveat that, we'd spoken about it for some time, not quite spoken to Alexander yet. He had some conversations. He was a little ahead of the game. And just to clarify it, we had to fly these bikes into the country in order to build them in time for this race. So we didn't even know we were going to get them in time. These, as you see, these bikes aren't on the showroom floor yet, they're just arriving. So it has been a real coming together. And even later notice was, Steve, when did we ask you to join our band of merry compadres?
You gave me a call Thursday last week. And of course I said, yeah, my schedule's empty. Phil, what do you have going on? Because Ducati doesn't call you up for no reason. So I figured Phil had something up his sleeve. And he asked if I'd be interested in doing this. And I said, let me clear my schedule.
Yep. Yep. So we're I think what we're going to do now is it could probably be the right time that we unveil the bikes. So I'm going to present to you these Desert X Rally NORRA Special.
Wow.
So let me talk you through some of the changes that we've made to the bike, and I'll come a little bit closer as well. So if you look at the bike here, essentially it's the standard Desert X Rally. The Desert X Rally version was one with a full off-road capable suspension, KYB suspension, XL rims. We haven't touched that. The engine is standard. What we fitted is a Termignoni race exhaust, which they kindly provided to us. But one of the big changes and the challenges for this race, being in the pro class, is it's on roadbook. So the roadbook navigation is an important part of doing that. So what we did, we worked with NORRA Rally Equipment, who have provided with this fantastic tower to pull the roadbook and navigation pieces, beautifully machined. We worked with Ducati electronics for the headlight as well. And then also from Aurora Rally is this wonderful carbon tank, which not only saves weight, and this weighs only 7 pounds, this tank, but it moves the airbox and the entry into the headlight here, so we can do quick changes of the airbox. A lot of feedback from Alexander in terms of getting the bars changed and how he likes them. So sorry, Steve, they're your bars, so you're going to love them. And of course, what we're going to be doing is running more off-road tyres with Lucy's as well. Standard gearing. I think that's probably pretty much it. And
pretty standard motors.
Testing starts when?
It's pretty standard, yeah.
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow morning we're going to leave early, and they're going to get their first chance. And obviously Alexander's ridden his bike in standard trim, as has Steve, and Steve came with us to Morocco for the Desert X Rally launch as well. Steve, you've ridden both Desert X and Desert X Rally on launches. What was your impression of the two, or namely this one?
So the Desert X, riding just the standard one, was like the best for leaving the ground. It did a lot of stuff that you really wanted an adventure bike to do. Every time it would leave the ground, it left straight, and it felt really great, but you could kind of override the bike. And then we went to Morocco to test the rally versions, and with the new suspension, you can't override the bike. So some of those big G-outs, especially at, like, you're on that 500-pound bike, the suspension is the level of kind of spec that I would have built for a bike if I was to build a different adventure bike, but this one comes this way, so I'm excited to ride it in its stock form as far as the suspension goes, because adjusted it in Morocco, we went 5 clicks up on compression, and the suspension adjusts really well, so it ended up beating up my hands. I ended up going backwards on it, and usually I have to max everybody's suspension out. So I'm really excited to be on this.
And so Alexander, I mean, you've ridden, you're familiar with its territory. What do you see the challenges of this race and that we're going to face over the next 6, 7, 8 days?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. Jimmy Lewis, is a pretty famous course builder for doing tricky navigation, technical navigation. So it's going to challenge our nav skills. It's going to be, I think, really technical, and it's going to be tough on a heavy bike like this. But I think with all the changes that we made and what we built here, I think we're going to do really well on the bike.
Yeah, and to clarify, we're up against 450 rally bikes, so we're bringing a big hammer to the job.
We got the event.
Yeah. I think when I've heard about Jimmy Lewis in his courses, he said it was going to be, what did he say? It was going to be sort of.
He said it was going to be gnarly and had a little twinkle in his eye.
Okay. and also, for those of you who think it's all Egyptian cotton sheets at night, I think there's one rally stage where I think you're sleeping on the beach, aren't you?
Yeah.
In a sleeping
And the
bag.
night before that, we're sleeping in a church.
In a church,
Yeah.
yes. So, it's going to feel like Band of Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeping shelter.